Hello everybody. This is Sable Badaki. How are you today? And today I'm going to talk about how things are easier than they seem. So many times we are going to do something or want to do something or trying to attempt something new and it just seems so overwhelming. I mean, we have this great big idea and when we try to implement it, we get overwhelmed and we get stuck. Or sometimes we don't even start to move. We don't even start to do anything simply because we feel like this ideal it can be so overwhelming. So I remember about a year ago this time, my daughter was on her way to university. And of course, that means buying all kinds of stuff for that small dorm room. And as we were shopping, we bought so many things. I picked up for myself a shoe rack. And I absolutely love shoes. I have loads of shoes, right? So you got to get them all organized. So I pick up this shoe rack. And this would have been the second rack I was going to put in my closet. And I looked at this rack and it required a screwdriver. And once I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is way too difficult. And I just threw it down, put it back in the box and threw it under the bed. And there it was. So about a week ago, I thought, okay, let me drag this thing out. And I dragged it out and gave myself like the whole day to put this shoe rack together. So when I'm talking about a shoe rack, I'm talking about two actual racks, two levels of this rack. So I gave myself the entire day so I can actually be able to put this thing together. I get my screwdriver, I take this out, I take out the instructions, and in 20 minutes, probably was even less, I was totally finished of doing this shoe rack. I could not believe how simple it was to actually put this rack together. And then I thought, what else in my life have I postponed or I have not worked on because I thought it was going to be too tough or too overwhelming? Do you mean for an entire year, my shoes have just been sitting on the floor and I could have had them in this amazing rack because I simply just couldn't move forward? And I just started thinking, okay, so what else could we be doing that we're so afraid? Because we get stuck. We just absolutely get stuck in our heads of this is going to be tough. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to ask. I don't know who else, where to start. And so we do nothing. And so I want you to take some action, even if it's imperfect action, or even if you don't know what to do, just do something somewhere along the way to get you going towards your destination or whatever you want to do. Because any step towards your destination is definitely a closer step towards your destination. And don't worry about how it may be so overwhelming. Think about what you can do. Think about who you actually know. And if you don't know how to do something, who knows how to do it? Who can you ask? Where can you look? Google has amazing answers to so many different things. And so start there. Start by seeing who else is doing what I would like to do. And you can actually get someone to help you. So I put a challenge on Facebook Live today. I put a challenge actually on my She Works page, and I'm going to make sure it's on all my pages. And this challenge was, I want you to list the 5 top things that are giving you a headache, you just can't sleep at night, they are worrying you, you can't figure out the answer. Those top 5 things. These are things that you don't even have to think about. They automatically just come to you like, oh my gosh, this morning you woke up, what am I going to do about this? And I want you to list those things out, those top things out. Once you list them out, the next thing I want you to do is convert them into a question. And I actually got this exercise from a book called Pause, which is written by Monica Shaw. And I found that this was so easy. So for instance, maybe you woke up this morning and you're like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get into these jeans? Or you looked in your closet and everything is just too small and you can't get into anything. And you're like, what am I going to do? I can't get into this. Instead of saying, oh, I can't get into any of my clothes, ask yourself, how am I going to fit into the clothes in my closet? It changes it. It gets you now in a solution mode versus a problem mode. So if you woke up and you're thinking, how am I going to pay my bill? I can't pay my bills this month. You start asking yourself, how am I going to pay your bills? And that starts getting you thinking about who can help me? And that will be the next question. So after you write down all your questions and all your problems first, then the next thing you write down are your questions of how am I, or how am I going to do it? Then the next thing you write down is who could help me? Where could I get help? How can I do this? So if you take it point by point, it doesn't seem as overwhelming. Really, it is a lot easier than what we make it. We're getting stuck in our heads. And I'm telling you, even myself this morning, I have this challenge that I do, and I'm going to tell you guys about it later, how I dedicate really the first 4 hours to certain activities. And I got stuck this morning. I was thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I did this exercise and it got me moving. I want you to be moving. Staying in one position, nothing's going to happen. So this is all about taking action to achieve the goals that you want, to have the dreams that you want, so you can live the life that you want. And Dave Ramsey says it best. If you do what no one else is doing today, you will live like no one else is living tomorrow. If you continue to stay stuck and talk about how you can't do it and it's so hard, you will never get it done. I know you can do it. Take action. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday.